now, Audrey and I are neighbors, clearly, like literally neighbors. She's one street down.
Oh, nice.
Now, and I know there's actually, I think 3 or 4 other new coaches who I don't think can be on tonight. So I'm going to record this and I'll just do it as if there's like 20 people on. And then Kate, if you have questions, please feel free to unmute or just type in the chat bar. Really the goal with our new coach mentorship, and we are so excited to have you on the team, by the way, like so excited. Do you want to share like just a tad of like what made you interested in coaching and just a little like who are you and all that?
Sure.
Yeah.
So I started doing Beachbody last fall, the spring time frame-ish. And I've tried a couple different programs, but I definitely am really loving the Muscle Burns Fat. It is awesome. And being in the military and a military spouse myself, it just seemed like a no-brainer to do try out the coaching thing. I'm not sure about the whole posting on Instagram doing a workout type thing yet. Trish makes it look so easy, and she's so bubbly and awesome when she does it. But yeah.
Awesome. And do you have kids or no?
I do. I have a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old. I'm actually sitting in the car while my 10-year-old is swim practice right now.
Okay, awesome. So you're a few years ahead of parenting, so we'll go to you for all the tips.
Oh yeah,
Branch, are you guys Air Force or?
Yes.
Okay, cool. My brother's.
So I think Trish's husband used to work with mine back in like Albuquerque or something.
Yeah, because I know they were just like he was just getting out like last year or something. So
yeah,
I know I can speak for myself, Audrey, like all the girls on our team, none of us did social media. So you can learn, like, it's one of those things that I promise you can learn, and it totally is scary at first. But the beauty of coaching, and I'll kind of go into this a little bit tonight, is that you get to take it at your own pace. Truly, like we have girls on our team who just want a discount and they just love the community, and that's awesome. There's other gals who are more like what I would say are hobby coaches, where they're sharing a little bit, and maybe their mom or their coworker or their sister wants to jump in and get, they're like, man, you're getting results, and they don't necessarily want to lead groups or anything, but it's nice to get commission and kind of share with people here and again. And so that's totally something, and kind of like, hey, we pay for a random date night now and again, or I got my nails done. And then there's girls who are serious about like really learning how to build a business, whatever that looks like for your family. So for me, when I started, I've been a coach for 5 years, and I really have the goal of being able to, I love working. It's really important for me to have something that's like mine, but I hated my kids being in daycare. So that was a real goal of like, okay, how can I maximize this? And I know Audrey and Megan's stories are a little different. So there's kind of room for everybody on the team. So what I'm going to go over right now, and again, I'm recording this because I know there's a bunch of coaches who can't be on right now live, is really just kind of the basics of getting started. And when you come onto our team, Megan, you're fine. When you come onto our team, we will never pressure you. If you want to walk, we will walk with you. If you want to be like, I want to be the top coach next year, I believe in you 200%, and you can totally do that. Like whatever your pace. But what I'm going to kind of present to you tonight is more geared towards like, if you're really interested in working the business or learning what that looks like, here's your base ground level and really what to expect. And then from there, you can kind of dial it back if you want to, but you at least know like, okay, this is really what it looks like for getting started and getting started right in this. So what I really love, and I have a presentation, otherwise I get like squirrel brain, is really the first thing that we do is just working on ourselves. So just like you were saying, Kate, like you love the workouts. I love MBF. It's so much fun. I love Megan as a trainer. And it's really just getting to know it and getting your own results. The thing that people are always really scared of is not wanting to be that girl on social media that I think we all know. And really the way of not being obnoxious and salesy is to genuinely just get results that you love. Because then it's just like sharing a restaurant that you found, or I guess we can't go to restaurants or movies or anything anymore, but like those kinds of things, it's just genuine. So like there's products that Beachbody has that I don't share about because I don't use them, and that would feel icky. I never want you just cold messaging random people on Instagram to join your team. Like that's not what we do. The first thing is you work on yourself. You love the products, and then you share about it. And then you move into helping people get results as well, and then helping them help people get results and spreading that ripple effect if you're really serious about kind of growing this business. And that's all it is. So there's a lot of resources, and we'll go over this, and I'll make sure Trish kind of passes some of this information on to you. But really the first thing is there's your Coach Online office. We have our team pages. We have a weekly team call on Mondays. It's a really fun time to be able to get plugged in on. We have a new coach mentorship call on Wednesdays that'll be kicking off starting, this is kind of the first one of the month, but next month. We have a new coach landing page, which is where I'll show you that after this, but we'll make sure that's really where you go for questions, and Megan and Audrey and I will all be in there kind of being like, hey, here's my social media post today, and here's a tip for how to do an Instagram story, and just basic stuff. YouTube and Google, you can find anything at, and then Beachbody has a lot of incredible resources as well that we'll link you to. When you're a brand new coach, you will feel overwhelmed, and that's totally normal, because just like anything new, if you're starting a new job or a new class, anything new in your life, there's going to be a learning curve. And I think one of the things that happens that I see with new coaches is they don't give themselves the grace of being a beginner. And unless you have 8 hours to sit down like you would a job and learn this right away, it does feel like a step, like a few steep couple months of like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. And so really giving yourself the grace of like, be here in a year. That's what I always tell my new girls, is like, learn, actually fail forward and try. When I started as a coach, I had creeped on my coach for about 3 months before working up the nerve to do this. And like I said, I'd never taken a selfie before. I rarely posted on Facebook. And I remember telling my husband, I will do whatever my coach says for 3 months. She tells me to jump off a cliff, I will jump off a cliff. And after 3 months, if I don't love it, I'll know I will at least have made an actual effort and not have gotten scared and run away. Like, I'll actually try. Clearly, I stuck around. It was great. So there's a lot of resources, almost to the point where it does feel like information overload. And our goal is not to do that. But I think it's important to know they're out there, and we'll kind of help you with those things. So these are really, you'll hear this a lot, your 4 vital behaviors. This is where you start. So we've already kind of talked about being proof the products work. So committing to your own growth, doing your workout, using the products, like actually getting your own results. This is the one that gets really scary, is number 2, share, connecting, inviting, and following up. And that's where people are like, I have to do what? And I have to say, this is just sharing your journey. And you can do it in person. You totally can. I will say 2020 has definitely made everything virtual way easier. And honestly, coming from someone who didn't do social media, I really love having a platform now to share my heart, to share my journey. To share things, because there's more to me than just a Beachbody coach, and I get to share that and add value in new ways. And so we'll talk about what those invites and follow-ups look like. I promise they don't have to be scary. The next one is personal development, and this one, it kind of sounds sort of woo-woo, and quite honestly, as a new coach, I didn't do this for a year. So I was like, I'm happy, I don't need this, like, I'm busy. But I will say, like, committing to 10 minutes a day, whether it's a podcast or an audiobook or an actual book outside of, for me, like outside of my devotions or something I was already reading, really that would help me with my mindset or growing the business or gaining confidence. Like, that has really transcended so many other aspects of my life. So that's why we talk about it. And it's where I get ideas for writing posts or managing my time better as I'm homeschooling my kids, or those kinds of things. And then with the really fun one is just shouting people out. We get to get people results. And knowing that you get to help someone. Like, I remember one of my very first customers that came in messaged me 3 months after she started that she was able to put on her wedding ring for the first time in 2 years. And I totally remember crying, like ugly crying at my desk at work, because I knew that it was so much more than a weight loss thing, but it was connected to her marriage and her confidence. And so that's the fun thing. So the very first thing that you're going to do is, as a new coach, there's like a line here, is you're going to commit to an actual start date for your challenge group. And you don't have to come up with that right now. So you're going to reach out to your coach, whoever your upline coach is, whether it's Trish or myself or Megan or anyone, and have that conversation. 99% of our new coaches do invite to our group. So we will mentor you through that. So that's step 1, talk to them. And you're going to commit to a program. So, I mean, I tend to get a little wordy in my posts, but this would be an example, is just starting to share your journey. So when I was postpartum with my daughter, I actually took weekly progress pictures as I went through Shift Shop, which is one of my favorite programs. And I just shared about what it was doing for my mindset. So it wasn't just like oh, cool, Abby, glad you got your workout in today. But I was talking about how it was helping me postpartum, how I was feeling stronger and more confident. And so really just sharing your journey in a way that's encouraging. I know, Megan, right? It's like such an underrated program. I love it. Sharing your journey in a way that truly adds value to other people, whether it's quick meal prep tips or how you're juggling mom life and time for you and all those things, and just letting people see your progress through it, even if you're not at your end results yet, because that messy middle piece is so much more relatable to people when they get to see you show up through all the hard and then get results. So that's kind of the very first thing, is just committing to your own growth there, committing to a group that you're going to be able to connect with people to. As a new coach, and I'm a big goal person, so this was important for me to know, you do have some goals. Now with Beachbody, there are no requirements, meaning you can just do it just for the discount, like I said. But if you want to grow this business, there's benchmarks that will help you learn how to actually earn an income, pay for your product, get a little extra. And I think as a business owner, those building blocks are really important to understand. So this is not to pressure you. This is not to like stress you out, but it is one of those things where if you're like, I really want to do this, then this is like, okay, step one is, so my goal every single month, and everyone on our team, is to help 3 new people every single month get started with a challenge pack. So that would be your total solution nutrition workouts, probably what you signed up with when you got started. And so that's really where you start. And your very first customers are going to be people that already know, like, and trust you. They know that you're not crazy. They're not trying to message them random stuff. They know you in real life. So my very first challengers, my dad was one, my girlfriend from college, and a friend from church. And they were the first people that jumped in with me. So we will grow your cold market. We'll help you learn how to have those conversations. But really, you're just starting by sharing your journey. So oftentimes it looks as simple as, hey, Kate, I just am 3 weeks into this crazy muscle burn fat program. I'm obsessed with it. My coach is actually opening up a boot camp this next month, and I thought it'd be so fun to commit to with a group of friends and get some awesome results before Thanksgiving. Do you want more info on it? Like, not word vomiting on them, not stressing out, but literally just being like, hey, I'm loving this and I would love to do it with you. And that's all that it is. So that's really our goal every single month, is just to help 3 people. The more the merrier, but at least 3. And what that does is there's a few things that go along with that. The first thing is that actually completely covers the cost of your product, and then a little bit more. So you actually start breaking even and earning some extra money, which is really, really nice. And then if you're someone who's motivated by prizes, which I totally am, I was that girl in college who would do anything for the free shirt, there's some fun perks that come along with that. So if you hit, it's called Success Club, helping 3 people every month. If you hit that 3 out of your first 6 months as a new coach, you actually earn what's called Success Starters. So you get, I didn't put it on here, but you actually get to be in a test group of new programs that came out. So like MBF, for new coaches who hit that goal back in January and February, they got to be the first ones to do MBF before it was released to anybody, which was really cool. So right now we have girls on our team who are in test groups for Autumn Calabrese's new program, or who were in the running program test group. So that's just an awesome thing. You also get to earn your free ticket to Summit, which is our annual coach event. This year didn't happen because hashtag COVID, but it's amazing. And it's one of those things where we come together as a team. We do a lot together. We do some fun prizes and dinners out, but then you also get to do stuff as a company. And I'm a huge introvert. This is not necessarily what always sounds fun to me. And I will tell you, it's like the highlight of our year every time. It's just incredible. And it's so much fun. So you get to earn your free ticket to that. And then every single month, if you help 3 people, you earn a free vacation for your family. So I've earned one every year since I've started. And I've been able to, like 2 years ago, I was able to take my family on a cruise to the Caribbean, and my husband has always wanted to swim with dolphins, and we got to do that. And that was really special. And when we were getting on the boat, my son, who is 5 at the time, he was like, Mom, everyone has the same hat as you, because a bunch of people had the same Beachbody hat. And my husband looks at him and goes, yeah, buddy, because Mommy worked super hard to be able to take us here, and all those moms did as well, and that's why we're here. And I was like, oh my gosh, they were it was like, but just that recognition where they could see, like, I got to treat you to this. for that. And then there's also quarterly prizes that they send out. And some of them are like so absurdly funny. Like Audrey and I got our matching Shakeology Snuggies that are very comfortable, I will say. Corny. But there's also there's luggage. The one in December is going to be a Theragun, which I think is like $600. So there's just fun little that you get recognized for along the way for helping people. And so the new coach, I think for me, that was really motivating to know, okay, my goal is 3 people every month because I want to break even and I like prizes and I want our vacations. But you're not tied to that. It's just kind of step one. So we are going to get into this in sort of our little new coach launch pad that I will share with you in a second. But your very first conversations, and we'll walk you through this, it's just to connect with people. You're not reaching out to close sales. You're literally just reaching out to open doors and connections. We don't want you sending them your Beachbody link. We don't want you just being like, the word vomit, just really starting to get to know people. So if I were to reach out to you and say, hey, I'm doing MBF, I'm loving it, I would love for you to jump in with me. Like, do you want the details? And you're like, sure. Be like, awesome. Are you trying to, like, what's your goal? And you're like, oh, I'm really trying to lose the baby weight, or my husband and I are going on an anniversary trip. And we get to just have that conversation. And I get to say like, okay, this is why I think you're going to love this. And here's what it's going to be. And so we will help you through those things, but we don't want you just cold messaging random strangers on the internet with your link to order. We really want you to get to know them and to serve them. So we will help you with that, and we'll go into that in more detail. Your second goal as a coach, and I like to bring this up early on again if you're someone who likes goals, is within your first 30 days, I always tell my girls in your first 2 weeks, your goal is going to be moving from active coach, which is where all of you new coaches are, to Emerald. Basically, all that this means is you signed your first 2 customers up either as coaches or VIP customers, and we will help you with that. They get a discount. It's the same price either way for them, and it unlocks a big piece of the compensation plan where you start to earn some residual income in addition to the commission. So we make a 25 to 40% commission on anything that's purchased through us, which is awesome. But Beachbody also has something called Team Cycle Bonus. I'm not going to get into it with you right now, but basically it's some extra money that can come in every single week as you grow your team. And that's always really nice. And our goal, again, if you're working in this business, is to teach you how to earn money in it in a way that's very authentic and honest with integrity, but also help you maximize that. So Emerald, you'll hear us talk about that, and I like to just put it on your radar. And then we'll talk about sharing your journey. This is my friend Rachel. Sometimes we run these calls together. My Instagram actually is not this pretty right now. It's not. But basically, if you are looking at social media, your job is not to have a workout selfie every day. I do not want to see you holding up a bag of Shakeology in your photo, right? I don't want it to be just sweaty selfies. I want to get to know you. So if you look on my feed, and again, mine isn't this pretty right now, but what you're going to see on there is you're going to see I'm a mom. You're going to see I love dessert. I love baseball. We have a golden retriever. You're going to see, if you follow my stories, I'm a hot mess. With Rachel, she shares a lot of personal development and her faith. She's a Southern gal, so you see her boys on there. With Audrey, she does incredible meal prep tutorials. She's a mom. So there's a lot that you share on there, and just kind of think about, who are you? What TV shows do you like? What issues make you passionate? What are struggles? Do you love chocolate? Are you know, those kinds of things. And that's all it is. So we'll get into that a little bit more, but things that you're going to post are things like your daily life. Like every day I'm like, here's my devotions, and now we're doing homeschooling, and I was not on social media, so it's not a good example, but just little daily life moments. Workout clips. I always do like 1 to 3 little clips, like here's my favorite ab move, or in MBF, like here's my AMRAP circuit and I beat my score today and I feel awesome about it. Product use, I have my Energize always, and when they go to order, they're like, we want that stuff because they see me do it. Healthy meal prep, things like I am starting a group and here's how to join me, or things that you love. My very first social media post looked like this. And they're terrible, and 3 people liked it, and it's so spammy and so awkward, and people still do this on social media, and I promise, like, you can move past that. I was not taught how to do it differently, and way back when, this is what worked on Facebook. But we want you to be genuine. We don't want you being like $10 off or spammy. We want you sharing, why do you love this and how is it changing your life? Because it's going to connect with the gal who's like you, who's looking for something, who resonates with your story. Just like with workouts, it doesn't happen overnight, right? You don't get abs the second you start eating healthy. Same with this get rich quick scheme. But I will tell you, 5 years in, the amount of potential that there is in this business is massive. And I would have never ever thought when I started working full time around my kids that I'd be making more in an hour or two a day than I was working 40 hours a week at a university. So it really, there is so much potential there. You have to track it. You have to use our systems, and I'll show you those in a minute. You're going to have those twofold success pieces. Just like you have fitness and nutrition wins, in coaching, there's going to be the private wins of like, oh my gosh, I did a post on social media today, and the public ones of like, yeah, you hit Emerald. So you kind of have your personal wins and the ones that are recognized by corporate and mentorship and stuff. As soon as you stop, results end. Like, how many of you have gone on a run before and you haven't ran in like 3 months and you're just like, oh my gosh, I'm dying right now? It's like that with this business. Lack of consistency will kill you. Your post can look as ugly as mine did at the beginning. They do not have to be pretty, but as long as you show up, your business will grow. If you stop because it feels hard or overwhelming or whatever, like, it will continue to get harder. And I think actually Trish just hopped on and she's a perfect example of this. Like, she has continued to show up this year in a really hard year personally, but she's been consistent in the areas that she can. And you see her business growing because of that. Comparison is a thief of joy. You know, you look around at airbrushed models or Instagram models and you're like, why don't my legs look like that? Same with this business. When it's social media based, it can be hard to not look around and compare. But I think the beauty of coaching is it's your story. And your story is different than anyone else's. And you're going to be able to connect with women or guys that we can't. And that's the beauty of our team, is it's so diverse and there's so many unique skill sets. And we want to just use those of yours and like help you call that out. And don't overcomplicate it. It's so simple. So this is just a really quick breakdown of what helping 3 people a month consistently looks like. A lot of the husbands like to see this. So if you are a minimum of 3 people a month, you will you'll be about $800 between now and Christmas. So being like, what would it look like to pay for Christmas in cash? And again, like, there's no guarantee of success, all the things, but like, this is actual breakdown of numbers if that's helpful for you. So we'll kind of go into that a little bit more. And then as a new coach, you will have gotten some promo codes. So this is a really great way to start. There's some strategy to enrolling your spouse, especially if you're military. So Kate, Trish can have that conversation with you, or I'm more than happy to help with that. I always ask like my best friends, if I were a new coach, of like, hey, I have a promo code and I would love to get you the discount with it because you have 30 days to use them. So that's a big plus, especially because MBF is on sale right now. So that's awesome. So what now is I will show you really quickly here. We are going to get you, not on that page, plugged into this group, which is going to change to October Launchpad. I'm just behind today. As soon as it pulls up here. So we'll make sure as new coaches, you are added to this group. And basically this is our one-stop shop for new coaches getting started. So this document right here really tells you exactly everything you need to know as a new coach. This is your like gold mine of information. It links you to the actual training videos that Beachbody has in your back office, which are phenomenal, and they go into more depth on the compensation plan. They talk about the products, like you'll really learn the system, and they're not very long. And then we have a more in-depth site as well. If you're someone who's like, I want all the info, you can click here. We have some personal development recommendations. I always recommend new coaches starting with The Slight Edge. This book changed my business, and I can't say enough about it. It gave me so many social media post ideas on life. It was great. We have some examples of new coach announcement posts as you share like, hey, I'm starting on this journey. And I would encourage you, when you do this, and we'll post it in our October launch tomorrow, but when you announce that you're a coach, tell us first so that we can all comment and share and cheer you on and boost you kind of in the algorithm a little bit and give just some love and encouragement. That's a really important piece of it, and we want to support you as you make such a scary announcement, because when I posted that I was a new coach, I did it at midnight and I blocked half my friends list on Facebook from seeing it because I was so scared. And so we don't want you to be scared. We want you to feel supported. Here's some examples. So there's some conversation examples, some post ideas. So there's a lot of stuff in here, and we will walk you through this, but this is just pinned at the top of this page. And then every day, like Megan was popping in here today, adding lots of value, we're going to be in here sharing stuff with you on what that looks like. And we'll just walk you through. So as a new coach in your first 30 days, really our goal is to help you kind of hit your first rank, help your first customers really feel like you have some consistency in understanding the basics of social media, and welcome you onto our team. So that's a lot. Megan or Audrey or Trish, did I miss anything? I know Trish, you just popped on, but that you want to add in? I know there's going to be other girls watching this later. If not,
I think the only thing I would add, because I had this conversation earlier this afternoon with my coaches, just talking about kind of the vision you have for your business and knowing that that's going to change probably throughout, but you have to have something you're showing up for, whether it's a short-term goal or a long-term goal. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be fancy. Like, you can have big, ambitious goals, but part of like that growth process is setting achievable goals that you can hold yourself accountable to and feel successful at. So if that's like, for me, when I first got started coaching, I didn't have a goal to like replace my income. My husband said, Shakeology is expensive. If you want to buy it, you have to pay for it. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll sell stuff so I can buy Shakeology. Like, my husband's very budget, very like, very, very, very like, I'm the free spirit in our relationship. So he was like, if you want your protein, you want this extra stuff, you pay for it. And I was like, fine, I'll pay for it. So that was my initial investment, was me paying that was my vision, was I want to buy Shakeology. So I'm going to sell my 3 challenge packs a month to pay for my Shakeology and the products I want. And that little discipline of just like that little short-term goal felt very achievable, that like, if I want the things, I do the work. And so fast forward a year later now in COVID, as I've become more of a stay-at-home working mom, I'm so thankful for that little goal I had to just pay for my products, because now I'm replacing income that I wouldn't have had. And my husband isn't saying, do you have to have Shakeology? He's being like, did you order some more of that stuff? Because he's seeing like all that translate. So that would just be my encouragement, is start with an achievable goal that feels meaningful to you and that can produce more vision. But it can be hard to just like start there. If I started day one as a coach being like, I want to replace my income, I would have been like, this is taking forever. No one's messaging me back. Like, what do I do? And that will just like kill your joy in what you're doing. So start achievable and see what happens, and grow with that is what I would say.
And I think being excited, like, I was so excited to help just one other gal, because I was like thinking back to how much stronger my marriage was when I was not insecure. And even though I don't look like a supermodel, but like, I just felt more confident, or how like being the mom who wasn't afraid to put on shorts and run around with her kids at the park, or wasn't being like, how can I position my kid in front of me in family pictures? I mean, we've all been there, you know, like the strategic placement, and just being able to have that confidence and joy, and thinking like, man, what a gift to be able to give that to one other woman, because I know what that ripple effect is going to do for her family and her life. And it's just powerful. So there's so many amazing like business goals, and I'm very much a goal setter. So that like always resonates with me, but exactly what Audrey said of like finding your joy is so important. And I think that's one of the things that makes our team unique.
I would say, sorry, one more thing. And it's not, I don't know. I feel like my biggest takeaway from being a coach the past 2 years is like enjoying the journey that you're on. Like, I have goals of, you know, being an elite coach and being a premier coach and, you know, like doing a lot of things, but like, I don't feel like I'm personally ready for that, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I still have so much more growth as a person and as a leader. And I feel like I've really just been able to enjoy like the journey that I'm on, if that makes sense. Because yeah, it would be cool to have those things right now, or like to be at that rank, or to, you know, earn that income right now, but it's not where I'm at right now, if that makes sense. And like, I feel like personally just really enjoying like the personal development and the personal growth that you get from coaching is one of my biggest like aha moments, takeaways, if that makes sense. You're muted, Abby.
My son's watching a show, so I didn't want you to hear that in the background. Do you guys, and again, I know we have new coaches who are watching the recording later, so reach out with questions, but Kate, since you're on here, do you have questions on anything? Or Trish, do you have anything you want to add at all? I know we dumped a lot of info on you, and you don't have to remember it all right now. Like, we'll go through it. But is there anything right now that's like, hey, what about this? Or questions on that? No?
Not yet.
Okay, perfect. So really the next steps as a new coach is you're going to get plugged into our October Launchpad group. I just linked it in the chat bar, and I'll make sure that our leaders have that link as well. And then starting tomorrow, we're going to be like, hey, we're going to make our new coaching post announcement, and we're going to post in there so we can all go cheer you on your page and like give you some love. Then we're just going to go one step at a time of like, here, we're going to invite to our boot camp, and we're going to, here's your post idea for today, and we'll just kind of baby step it out and welcome you to our team, and hopefully be able to meet everyone in person at some point when this whole 2020 thing is over. But I appreciate you guys taking time to be on tonight. And if there's anything that you need help with, just let us know. But otherwise, I think we're good to go. Yeah, short and sweet. Okay, bye guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah, Megan, just we'll just jump on to a different link. Okay, bye.